Welcome, Sainers. Welcome to a special Thursday night stream. It's Trade Talk Live. I did it a couple of weeks ago, I think, and everyone seemed to enjoy it. So we're going to do it today. It's a huge day. There's been a lot of news, and I've got my good friend, you know him from the podcast, Ari. How's it going, mate?
It's going good. I've been consuming a little bit too much trade radio, so my ears are burning a little bit. But no, besides that, good.
Ears are just burning. They're not bleeding or anything. It's just so you're all good.
All of the above.
All of the above.
Yeah.
We've got some big news to talk about. Obviously, Sainers. That's the main reason why we're here. Put your thoughts in the comments as well. No doubt we're going to be discussing, I think, the main talking point. We've got some clips to go through. But obviously, up until today, we've done some pretty good business. We've landed Tom De Koning, Jack Silvani, Sam Flanders, Flying Ryan as well. So 4 incoming, and obviously Max Heath has been traded to the Demons, which was expected. So a lot of really, really good business. We've been very proactive, I think. And it's going to be interesting to see the general consensus of Saints fans in the comments, Ari, on like exactly how they feel about this situation. Straight off the bat, maybe we'll go into the clip, and then I want to get your thoughts on this situation.
Let's do it.
So this is the news.
A big shock on the trade front today. Chief Football reporter Tom Morris.
Yes, there was, Tony. GWS defender Lee Kalir was in Barcelona this morning when he received a phone call saying that after 2 years of promises and negotiations, St Kilda was no longer interested in him. Now, it was an about-face bombshell, given the Saints had committed to him formally some time ago. Now, I spoke to his manager, Dylan Smith, today, who gave me this explosive quote. In part, it reads, "This came as an absolute shock. Today, they backflip because they don't have the picks for him. It's disappointing. Leak is not happy and, to be honest, livid with the situation. Clubs have rung me and said, it's a disgrace. What have they done?" So now, a wounded Alir will look for another club with 6 days to go until the trade deadline. And later in sport, we catch up with Jamarra Ugle-Hagan, who's...
Fair enough. Thank you there, Tom Morris, live from the newsroom. Ari, first of all, what are your thoughts?
I mean, look, obviously it's an unusual situation. This doesn't happen, all the time. But I mean, this is just the business. I feel for Lek. I do. Like, it's definitely he's on the rough end of the stick. 2 years of chatting with him, and it seems to have fallen through. I mean, honestly, my first reaction was, are we just playing hardball? Like, are we trying to get a better deal out of this? I don't know. I mean, the more this goes on, I guess that's not what's happening. We just don't want him. It's hard to even talk about without knowing the exact reason, because I feel like we don't know what the exact reason is. Is it? Do you honestly believe that it's just because we don't have the picks? Because don't we still have our 2027 future second? Like, I'm sure we could make a way to trade him in if we really wanted to. So for whatever reason, we're not doing that. What do you think the real reason is behind this? Is it salary cap space?
No, I don't think it's got anything to do with that. And straight off the bat, firstly, it's interesting that they went straight to his manager and not to the GWS Giants, who are facilitating this deal. Like, the terms of his contract were, I suppose, agreed, but it's up to the Giants and the Saints to come to terms with a deal. So they're almost not like, just because maybe a contract's agreed with the player doesn't mean that it gets through at the club level, because it needs to be fair. We want to do a deal. Like, we've proven that, I think. Like, we've done Flanders very quickly, pick 7. Some people say overs, right? We were willing to do that, despite some people saying overs. Maybe the Giants were asking too much. We know that I think they wanted a future second. I don't know if there was more on top of that. So I'll need to check in with that. But I go back to, like, I feel for Alir, but at the same time, don't people realize, like, to me, isn't this a business? Don't we want to be ruthless and try and win a premiership, our second flag? Like, I think if something else has come up, which I think maybe is true, maybe something else has caught our eye, or maybe it was just to set a precedent for Geelong, dealing with Marshall and maybe other clubs that are going to deal with us. Come to us with a fair plan on what you want to do, and don't go crazy asking for well overs, because like what Bassett has mentioned, we're not here to make friends. We're here to win games. Which one would most Saints fans pick right now? Win games or be the nice guy and everyone loves us? If everyone loves us in the AFL, that means we're shit and it means we're not a threat. It means we're not winning games. Like, that's my personal opinion. So, look, maybe the communication around it to me could have been better. I don't know. Maybe it's more of a media comms situation more so than what we've actually done. But it could also be posturing to the point where we've backed out completely and the Giants have no choice but to come back with an offer that we find fitting and that we will facilitate. So, like, it's only Thursday. We've got nearly a week left of the trade period. I still think there could be something there. But, I mean, if there's something big brewing behind the scenes and we land a big fish and Alir's sort of the collateral damage in that, maybe we come out of it okay. But people have their opinions. So let's go through some of these comments. Rob says, surely they've got something else cooking in the background. I'm hoping so. I mean, that's probably the reason why we can't just go through with every single thing. Things change, and I'd love to know what what club.
Slow Thursday night for that bloke.
Yeah. Giants wanted a second round. Saints offered third, deal off, normal stuff. I think some people are surprised that we just walked away so quick.
Yeah.
And not even tried to negotiate for a day or two, you know?
I don't think it has anything to do with salary. If you look at our future picks, obviously we've got both our future first in 26 and 27. In 27, we have our future second. So clearly we just don't want to trade for that. We said, we'll give you a third round pick. Giants said no. And we're like, okay, well, we're not taking him for anything less than that. Like that just is what it is.
100%. And we don't know what St Kilda's planning in 2026 and 2027 in terms of free agents, in terms of what picks we might need at that point in time. So we're probably reluctant to trade out too many futures unless it's I don't know, if there's a Butters on the line and we need to keep picks. You know what I mean? Like, it needs to be something big. But I don't think for a deal like this, especially because Silvani sort of landed in our laps, I suppose, for free. Yeah. No picks. It was free agent, paid his salary. We get the player for nothing, essentially.
And supposedly that did come out of nowhere.
Supposedly. I mean, we don't really know, like the actual facts of it, but I think a lot of people, when we kind of assessed every single player that we were linked to that nominated us, you would have said the one, if it doesn't go through, would you be really upset or not upset? And maybe this would be the one where you're like, we got Silvani. It'd be a nice to have, maybe like a nice to have, but it wouldn't be a need because we got Silvani and because we retained Wilkie, obviously, with signing him on and giving him a bigger deal. So I don't know. It's interesting. Managers say that, they're going to treat us differently. Other clubs might not want to operate with us. I kind of enjoyed that immediately after this news, Liam Ryan was just announced. It's not like West Coast backed out of it because they saw what we did with GWS. Yeah. And they gave us a future third. you know?
Oh, great. 2027 third round pick. Let's go.
So maybe we go back to the Giants with that and our future third. They can get 2 future thirds for a league.
Yeah, for me, I'm just curious. Like, I think there's one of two things can be happening, and the first is, do we just not reach an agreement on an offer, and we're just like on a completely other end of the spectrum compared to the Giants? It's either that or there's something else going on that we don't know about.
It could be something else going on. I know a lot of people think the big one obviously is Sam De Koning and what that means. I think was it Geelong offered Carlton 3 first rounders just recently in the last couple of hours. And one of them is the pick that supposedly was offered to Rowan Marshall, which was pick 19. So we're clearly... Yeah.
I don't think we're trading Rowan Marshall for picks. I don't know that for sure. I just, if for mine, if we were to do that, I think we would be pretty much shipping him off for free.
Yeah. Fair comment there. This is a big one. Let's just go through it. Jared, I feel like us, the supporters, are on this new ruthless style. We've tried to be the nice club, and where does it get us? This is exciting and at least shows that we are having a crack. It may not work, but whatever we've done so far hasn't worked, so let's wait and see. Yeah, I mean, look, the people that are bashing on us right now, people that are bashing us for getting Sam Flanders for slightly overs, which I don't think it's slightly overs at all. The same people for bashing us getting Jack Silvani, and, you know, because his dad works at the club, and linking the two, getting Tom DeCone. Like, to me, there's a certain group, and whatever we do, they're just going to say, they're going to pick and choose this. The same people that said, oh, they don't need Ali, why would they pay him so much, are the same people that are fuming that we didn't get him, that we backed out, you know? So you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't in that situation. And obviously I'm pointing towards comments like your mate, Damo Barrett. So we'll quickly just go through what he had to say. I think it was with Josh Jenkins earlier today on Trade Radio.
After basically 2 years of wooing him and telling him that he was a much required Saints player from 2026 onwards, they've told him that it's too hard to do and that they don't have anything with which to trade after doing these other deals with other clubs and other players. And it has clearly left a young player shattered who was happy at the club he was at, but was, I'm going to use the phrase, wined and dined. For 2 years, effectively, and now he's in a form of limbo, given that he thought his future on the back of the sell from the St Kilda Footy Club was going to be as a Saint, as part of this wave of players coming in, and is now on this particular Thursday, 6 days before the trade period closes, is told that they don't have anything to trade. GWS, from what I've been told today, wanted a future second, and the Saints haven't, or decided not to partake in that. Now, as always, the Saints will have their own version of events on that, but that's a version of events that I'm happy to report today that Lecalier is shattered over this whole situation. He'll be okay. He's a young player, and he's...
That's Damo. That's Damo.
I got to say, something that I'm thinking about is, you know, if Aliir is as good as the Giants think he is, and he's worth, you know, a second round or whatever it is, then if he is that good, another club will come and take him for that. So everyone's saying, oh, you know, poor guy. They're talking about him as if we don't pick him up, he's not going to be on an AFL list next year. He's going to be fine. He'll either stay at the Giants, someone else will come after him, or who knows, maybe this is all just, you know, us playing hardball, and we'll get him in a couple of days for, you know, a few third rounders.
I personally think I think there's many clubs that will. I saw it on Twitter. Collingwood supporters were jumping at it. Carlton supporters were saying, go get him. Bulldog supporters who are crying out for another defender were looking at him as well. So he's going to have plenty of phone calls tonight with other clubs. It's no problem at all on his end. I think it's just from our end. Could we have done this differently? Could we have operated differently? But to me, in this period, things change by the hour. Things change by the day. You don't, like, all these deals are connected in some way. One falls over, then a player that you thought was going somewhere's available. I mean, case in point, Lecalier, a lot of clubs thought he was coming to us. Now he's available. That could be happening with other deals that have affected us in this deal. So, I mean, SDK, what do you think? Do you think that's on? Yeah, exactly. As Al Footy says here, they've got deals in front of him. Giants have said they want to keep the guy. So he might just stay, if he's comfortable, he might just stay at the Giants. He's not going to be out on the streets, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's gonna go homeless because we didn't do the contract.
He's in Barcelona. He's in Barcelona.
Yeah. Oh no, poor guy. Sorry. We can move on to SDK, but I mean, yeah, in my gut, I definitely have had a feeling about that, as most Saints fans have. Obviously, we got the Tom DeConing link, and we're supposedly, you know, trading Rowan Marshall to Geelong. So, like I said, I wouldn't want to be doing that for picks. If there was a player that I think is almost on the same level of value as Rowe, it would probably be, you know, someone of an SDK type player. It would explain this situation quite a bit. So, yeah, I don't know. He hasn't shown any interest. There hasn't been any stories about him during the year wanting to leave Geelong. So it does feel like a bit of a long shot, but who knows? What are your thoughts?
I want it to be in the works, like what Sarah just mentioned there. It'd be a dream because I feel like we still don't quite have that fullback position locked down because we can't. Dukes has got 1 year on his term, and we haven't really seen him for a year. To be honest, he's been injured. Cal Wilkie's not going to be a fullback. Caminiti's still a work in progress. I don't think he's going to be our fullback long term. I mean, Sam De Koning is that. He fits the bill there. He's 200 centimeters. He's played there. But Geelong seemed to rate him. He signed a deal, I think, up until 2027. So he's got his deal is exactly the same as Marshall. Do they win a flag with Marshall and not Tom De Koning? I mean, Sam De Koning, I'm not sure. I still think maybe...
I'm not a Geelong
Blitzard's-
expert, but I think they get better inserting Royal Marshall and taking SDK out. Not like,
You reckon?
a lot better, but I think, marginally they would get better from that. But, I'm sure Geelong fans would have something else to say.
See, the more I think about it, the more I think Geelong had to choose between Curnow and Marshall, I reckon. And they've gone, well, St Kilda's going to play hardball on Marshall. We can't do anything here. We've offered 19. We're not going to do much more than that. I think we wanted a future, but that kind of affects them in the Curnow deal. And I think they probably see Curnow as the bigger in to go with Cameron and Shannon Neal. And that means we would retain Marshall. That's one thing that kind of gets lost in all of this. We may just well retain him. He may stay.
Oh, definitely. And look, unless we can get a deal that involves an SDK or a high caliber player, I have no interest in trading Royal Marshall. We've got 23 players, 5 on the bench, no sub next year. I think it's the perfect time to try 2 rucks out again. You've got, Royal Marshall will be the best second ruck in the competition. Max King and Tom De Koning, look, love both those guys, but their bodies may not hold up. If one of them goes down, you've got a backup right there ready to go. And he'll be in the best 23 anyway. Him and King will play forward together. And as Carl Delina said on radio today, Ross Lyon has envisions the team with Royal Marshall in it next year. So unless we get a great deal, it's just not going to happen.
It's interesting timing as well with Carl talking this morning to Cal Toomey and Riley Beveridge about it. And yeah, like you said, he was very firm on it that if Ross has it his way, Rowe's not going anywhere. And that's on top of what Graham Allen had mentioned on Monday and mentioning that, we'll talk to Geelong, but, we don't know what's going to happen. Depends on what they offer us, that sort of thing. And clearly, if that's the best they can do is 19, which again probably pushes out, I think, might even push into the 20s, to be honest. I don't think that gets it done unless a player is involved. Would you take any other player from Geelong, or do you think Sam De Koning's the only one that we would?
I mean, if Bailey Smith or Max Holmes is on the market, sure, but I just think that's the one that's most likely, just in terms of when you equate one player to the other. An Ollie Dempsey, Brian Myers, those types, but I just don't think Geelong want to trade any of them, and that's fair enough. If they don't want to trade them, we don't want to trade Royal Marshall either. So bad luck, he's contracted.
Yeah. I think this is fairly consistent with what the club's kind of voiced, don't you think?
Yeah.
I think with the way Andrew Bassett's mentioned it explicitly that I reiterate again, but we're not here to make friends. We want to be taken seriously. We might piss some people off along the way, but if that's what we've got to do to turn this place around, then that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, no, exactly. And Ross himself said serious clubs don't trade contracted players. Unless you can find a deal that is that will benefit the club more, with going through with that, you just don't do it. And I would be disappointed if we did fold in this situation, because it would feel like we're almost going back on our word on that. And I do believe them when they say getting rid of Marshall wouldn't be a salary dump or anything like that. It's only we're doing our due diligence because he requested a trade. We said, okay, we'll have a look. Sorry, Ro, there's nothing there. You're contracted. You're going to have to stay. And, I don't know Royal Marshall personally, but just from what we see as fans, I don't think he'd have any issues staying if that's what it came down to. We saw him the other day working out with TDK, in the gym. So I'm sure he'll be fine.
I think the situation is he stays or we get something pretty damn good from Geelong. And right now, I don't think Geelong are willing to go to that level. I think knowing Geelong, I don't think they want to be the first club to buckle and give away a good player to the Saints.
Oh, for
You know,
sure.
I just feel like in the back of their minds, they're like, nah, we're not doing this. We'd rather not get him. So both teams basically win in a way. They'll get Curnow, most likely, and then we keep Rowe.
I don't
Carlton
think
get a
they're going
bunch
to
of
get
picks.
Curnow, but yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll get either. And I hate watching other
Really?
clubs just fold to Geelong. And, I know the Bulldogs were sort of forced into it last year with Bailey Smith because he was uncontracted. But it's like, hey, Rowe is contract. We have no obligation here. We don't have to do anything.
No, and
Unless they want to put forward a great deal, we can just sit there and say, no, we're going to keep our player.
100%. And as Al mentioned, and I mentioned it in my video earlier this week, and the clubs talked about it. I think Graham Allen talked about it in good detail, but we've front-ended a lot of these deals. So Marshall's contract, we've paid up maybe 50% of the next 2 years, which means, hey, Geelong, if you want him, you've got to pay up even more because we've paid him already for this time that we may not get if you take him off our books. And that was their thing that they were falling back on was, we'll just, we'll try and frame it as a salary dump from the Saints, but it's not because we've paid most of it.
Yeah.
He's on, less money in the next 2 years because he's had the bulk of it the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
they can't lean on that.
Let me ask you this question. Obviously, Jack Steele, the man of steel, my man, has been he's been a big talking point.
Yeah.
Do you think the club had in its plans offloading him? Obviously, he'd be on big money right now, and that he's just sort of stubbornly said, "No, I'm staying," which personally I'm thrilled about. But do you think that has changed the plans at all? Potentially played into the Ilias situation?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know where our list spots sit at. To be honest, I haven't checked, but I'm just thinking how many list spots we have left. And so if we do keep Marshall and Flanders and Steele, he's living rent free in my head, Flanders. And we keep Steele. That's 2 spots there that maybe we expected one of them at least would have been opened up. But if both of them stay, and say we pick up 1 or 2 in the drafts, you've got, I don't know if Tex Wanganeen will still be picked up. Say hypothetically he does. You've got Fincher, maybe another draft pick. I don't know. I just think maybe we're keeping some room depending on if we've got someone else in the pipeline, because Delina did say we'll probably stop at 5 today on the radio. And then we've got 4. We've bailed on the 5th, which tells me maybe there's a 5th, and then we will stop. And we've given ourselves basically a week to, I just think we're going to be circling around this, all these big deals and mega trades. And I think we're going to see what falls between the cracks. It could be Mackenzie. Like if Hawthorn really go all in on merit, maybe Mackenzie's that player that falls out and we're like, bang, we can do that. We've got a future pick. We've got the ammunition to get it done.
And I'll say this, out of the 3 possibilities out of the Ilias situation, 1, nothing happens and we're just done for the trade period. 2, we have something up our sleeve. Or 3, we end up getting Ilias anyway. What do you think is the most probable?
Say that again.
So we just end up getting Ilias anyway, or nothing happens from here. Like this is just the end of the trade period for us, or we have something up our sleeve. What's the most probable of all those outcomes, do you reckon?
Something up our sleeve would be good.
It would be, wouldn't it?
What do you think?
Gut feel is probably, that we've got something up our sleeve. But none of those options would surprise me. Like if, on Tuesday next week it came out, St Kilda gets Ilias for a 3rd round pick, I would not be surprised one bit.
Yeah. I don't think press like this comes out like today with his agent. I don't think that is a good indicator that we'll be back for him. I think it's I think maybe if the club came out and said, look, we'll try again and try and chat to St Kilda next week or something. But the fact that it's done on Thursday and we didn't drag it out to Monday, Tuesday and talk to them tells me that, that is absolutely done. And now we're not here to waste time and we want to focus on some other things, Yeah. I'm glad none of this dragged on until the deadline day.
Oh, no, absolutely. You don't, that's never good. And I just to go back to the Ilias situation for a second, it's like the fans have got to ask themselves, like, who cares what any other supporters think of this? I just could not care less. If we were in a situation where we were about to go through the trade and we thought, okay, if we go through with this isn't going to end well for us. We've just, for whatever reason, they've come to that conclusion. What are you going to do? Be nice guys and go through with it anyway? It's like, no, you just have to make the tough decision. Yeah, it sucks for Aliir. Maybe, we make a few enemies with some player managers and that might hurt us down the road. But this is, if they've decided this is what's best for the club, I'm going to trust them for the minute and just say the tough decision just had to be made.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, out of 10 so far, you'd have to say that we've done a pretty good job when you look at what other clubs have done in that time frame. We've been incredibly active, having gotten Liam Ryan through the door as well. Speaking of Flying Ryan, we'll quickly talk about what happened here. And I think this was a good deal, to be honest. When you look at it, we've got Liam Ryan in return for his services and West Coast future third-round pick in 2027. We parted ways with a future second-round pick, which I think we talked about in the Liam Ryan trade. There's the screen there. Sorry, I wasn't sharing it. Happy with that? I think that's a ripper deal.
Yeah, no, it's a good deal, especially some of the talk that West Coast were doing earlier on in the trade period after he requested the trade. So doesn't really hurt us all that much. Hopefully West Coast is still terrible in 2027 and that third round pick is a bit higher up the draft order. But yeah, no, I'm happy with this one. The only thing for me is sort of like getting the aging player. Like he's 29. I know, modern day players can play on for a while, but I think he's on a 3-year deal with the trigger for a 4th. So the age is a slight worry to me, but it puts a lot of pressure on the Liam Henrys, the Lance Collards, the Dan Butlers of the world to perform, because that spot is going to be there's going to be a lot of competition for the small forward spots next year.
That's a good thing, though, isn't it?
Absolutely, it's a great thing. Yeah.
Do you think he takes the heat off Higo a little bit and Higo goes to another level because of Ryan, or do you think he'll just be consistent like this year?
Yeah, no, I hope so. I mean, I thought Higo was very consistent for probably the first 12 rounds of the season, was lining up for an All-Australian Blazer and then dropped away a bit. So yeah, definitely some support for him. I think would be great. If we can get that forward line fully healthy, it's going to be pretty dangerous. You got King, hopefully Marshall, Sharman, and then Higo and Ryan at their feet with, maybe Max Hall, Henry, Butler around there as well. So yeah, it's a good get.
Yeah, I think he's got that experience, and we don't have a small that can take a hanger like him. I think maybe Collard down the line with more experience has got that sort of X factor about him. We saw it against Port late in the game. He took that great mark and pretty much sealed the game for us. So he's got that in his locker. But given where we're at and what we want to do in the next 2 years to retain Naz and hopefully make finals, you've got to get players that are absolutely ready now. And I think he's one of them, and at a minimal cost as well. I think. Did you see some of the rumors of West Coast fans wanting Jack Steele as part of his trade?
I didn't, but I'm not too surprised.
This is a good question. Let's go. I'll ask you as well, Ari. Just curious as to which players you think fall out of the side with these inclusions. What do you reckon?
For sure. Ari? Yeah, I mean, obviously I do my best 23 videos, and I'm always been editing it through the trade period. Right now, some notable players who I think aren't quite in the best 23 are players like Garcia, Caminiti, Henry, Butler, Hunter Clark, Hugh Boxall. Those sorts of guys aren't making the 23 in a fully healthy side. So Caminiti is probably the one that's most stands out to me. Obviously, I think he played maybe 20-odd games, majority this past season. But you bring in Silvani. I think Dougal Howard probably has the spot over him at the moment, at least for mine. Maybe that's contentious, but Wilkie will be back there. Taru, Sinclair, Stocker. It's a tough backline to crack into, but yeah, what are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, even if we got Aliir, I was just thinking before, I don't think he would be a guaranteed in that back 5 anyway, back 6, So,
oh yeah, he'd be battling for that spot.
He would be fighting for that spot with Taru, with Caminiti, that sort of situation. So, good depth in that department, but I don't know, Silvani. To me, it still means that we can throw Taru forward a little bit more. Caminiti can still play that lockdown role. I still believe in him. I think maybe there might be more pressure on him next year with with Wilkie and Silvani doing a good job down there. And then in the Flanders, who does he push out? I mean, he's immediately a walk-up start in the centre bounce, isn't he? Flanders?
I don't know about centre bounce, but I mean, he's in the side round
He's
one
in the
for
side,
sure.
right?
Yeah.
So it depends on what happens with like a Burns. I think it puts more pressure on. It depends if we trade Steele or not. If he sticks around, that's going to be interesting with Steele, McRae. What happens there? Like, do we see them both be the sub a little bit more frequently?
Well, there's no sub, so.
Oh, sorry, no sub. So maybe they just rotate forward a little bit more. Steele can play that forward role, and turn himself into a goal kicker. And then obviously TDK, we know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, people are asking about what is Steele's role next year. Personally, for me, I would love to see him as a forward. We saw glimpses of it in 2020 and 2021 when he was a bit of a goal-kicking mid almost. I think he'd be good as like a bit of a hybrid forward. And to be completely honest with you, I'm biased. I mean, I absolutely love Jack Steele. I reckon that he's gonna come have a cracking preseason, and who knows? I wouldn't be too surprised to see him lining up in that first centre bounce in round one with Naz and Filippo.
I think it'll just be best available. You play VFL if you're not good enough. It's as simple as that.
For sure.
We're not at this point. I think in the last couple of years you can forgive maybe gifting games and playing players maybe out of form, but now if we want to be winning every single week, you just play the absolute best, most informed team available. And if Steele's not performing, or anyone's not performing, guess what? You play in the St Kilda VFL team. That's just how it's going to be. Pressure for spots.
No, and that goes for Steele, McRae, Brad Hill, Mason Wood. At their best, they're all in the side, but if they drop in form, we've got the players there ready to go now.
Yeah, 100%. Speaking of players, we did lose a player today, so we'll quickly talk about Moose, Max Heath. We kind of knew this was going to happen, but we knew this for a little while. He's gone to Melbourne in exchange for a future 4th round pick in 2027's draft. 22 years old. He's been in the system for quite some time. We saw a glimpse of him this season. Kicked some goals, took some good grabs. Bit of a cult figure at the footy club. We wish him well, obviously.
Absolutely.
I've met him a couple times. He's an awesome sort of bloke to have around the club. Very funny. He's probably the only player that rivals Rowan Marshall for a big smile. I reckon. Like, he's got that big smile about him. What are your thoughts on this one, Ari? Is this just kind of, one of those deals that just happens and you quickly forget about in 6 months' time, or are you a bit upset about this?
I mean, look, this is no disrespect to Max Heath at all. I loved watching him play in the back half of the year, but I'm absolutely stoked that we got anything for him, to be completely honest, because I think he was going to get delisted otherwise. So you get a 4th round pick in. Yeah, who knows what we'll do with that? Maybe we'll pass on it, but it's better to get something than nothing. So, but all the best to Maxi Heath. If Gawn goes down next year, him and Tommy Campbell actually will be battling for that spot. So a couple of ex-Saints backup rucks.
I was going to say, a lot of people love making jokes about Saints picking up Carlton players, but I feel like Melbourne are picking up a lot of ex-Saints at the moment.
Billings
it's like
as well.
Dunstan, Billings,
4,
Campbell, Heath. That's 4 that I can think of in recent years. That's 4 in like the last 5 years or something.
Yeah,
so,
wow.
And they wanted Windhager as well.
True.
There's the Alan Richardson connection there. He probably knows those blokes a little bit as well. Woody's going to miss Moose.
Woody, how are you?
I'd imagine that means that, there's more responsibility. We might see a little bit of Dodson. Yeah, speaking of the devil. Dodzilla, who's going to be an absolute ripper. And then Keeler as well, my boy. What do you reckon?
Your boy,
He's in
for
a big year? He's in for a big year?
I'd be shocked if he played a game.
You'd be shocked if Isaac... Mate, now you're taking...
I mean, there's going to have to be a couple of injuries before he gets in. If he's playing, I'd be a little concerned for the state of our injury list. But we'll see. Maybe he has some cracking form in the VFL. Yeah,
and Woody absolutely best on ground. He's had a phenomenal year.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. I'm sure we'll rotate. But if Rowe remains, then that's the 1-2 punch. Rowe, TDK every single week.
Yeah. What's your gut feel on Rowe staying? You think stays or goes?
With Rowe?
Yeah.
I think he stays.
Yeah.
I think based on what happened today, I know that wishful thinking, I would love Sam De Koning, absolutely, but I just think Geelong operate in a way where they never want to lose a deal, and we want to become that and not lose this deal, absolutely. And I just think that just means things just stay as they are. We keep Rowe, they don't get him, they focus on something else, unless something drastic changes next week. But I just think Rowe and Tom De Koning, and with what Delina mentioned, it all adds up to we're not losing him.
Yeah. Agreed.
Which is it's a great outcome when you think about it. Like, to do all the business of what we've done, not lose Windy, not lose Naz, not lose Rowe, hopefully, that's my gut feel, and maybe keep Steele as well. That's incredible, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I mean, it looks like
do all that work.
We're going to lose no one and put 4 pretty good players into the side. But yeah, I mean, I was pretty shocked to hear, not shocked, but hearing, in the media talking about, right now Saints and Geelong are just tossing up between, is it the Geelong's first round pick this year or next year? And I was losing my mind thinking, surely we are not trading Rowe, for pick 18 or whatever it is that Geelong have. So especially in this year's draft.
That would be counter to everything that we've said and all the actions that we've taken leading up to this point. I can't imagine that Ross would sit back and even let that happen.
Just reading Jeff's comment, Marshall shattered at Geelong getting him to nominate them.
Actually, that's a Jeff. You've just reminded me. I talked about this off camera, and a great segue now. Everyone's fuming about St Kilda not getting the job done for Aaliyah. We courted him for 2 years. We wined and dined him. We took him out and didn't get it done. Geelong have wanted Marshall for a while. If they don't get the deal done, are they going to cop the same heat? Are they going to cop all these articles? Is Rowan Marshall's agent going to come out and say, what a disgrace this was? They took him down to Lammy's and bought him a pint, and they're not going to get him to play at the Cattery? It just seems... You get what I mean? It's just like... They're not going to do it. They're not going to say anything. They're just going to say that St Kilda played hardball.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same situation, really.
Yeah.
That's just the narrative right now. I think I'd say we're an easy target, but more so because we're putting ourselves out there, because we're doing the business. We're not sitting by and letting these deals just happen behind the scenes.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we played a bit of the Damo clip before, but him and Josh Jenkins just blurting out absolute dribble on trade radio. Sure, we could have dealt with that a little better, no doubt, but it's the business. I think these player managers and list managers have just got to toughen up a little bit. In American sport, NBA, NFL, no one would bat an eye at this. So, like I said before, if Aaliyah is this player that's worth as much as the Giants think he is, then they'll have no problems dealing him to another club. So best of luck to them.
Yeah, I think Geelong are always going to be the protected species, I suppose, in this space. And we're just operating around that.
Yeah.
Maybe you can answer this one, Ari. Guys asking, how did we not get Aaliyah? What happened there?
Well, if you've been living under a rock, you probably wouldn't have seen, but there's plenty of news out there discussing it.
Woody reckons if the Cats gave us a next year's first and Sam De Koning for Marshall, then yeah, take it, but otherwise keep him. Would you accept that deal? Future
Next year's
first and Sam
and
De Koning?
SDK.
Which would be probably around the same as this year, pick 19, 20.
I would lean towards yes, but even if that didn't go through, again, I would be happy with either outcome there.
Yeah.
I think people are really underestimating the 5 on the bench next year. I think that's huge for playing 2 rucks, especially with 100%. Rowan, a capable forward.
Yeah. I mean, some people think he's not capable forward, but I think with enough support, with King down there, Sharman down there, Ryan down there,
here you go.
Potentially, here you go, Caminiti and Taru potentially rotating, who knows? There's options there. He's not going to be expected to kick 5 a week.
Yeah.
Everyone's taken Woody's deal. Al reckons Sam De Koning for Marshall straight swap. Would you do that?
Oh,
They're both contracted. One's like
Yeah.
I kind of see where that's coming from. They're both contracted. One's older than the other. Kind of anything more than
yeah.
that. you think?
SDK is 24. Him and Ali are pretty much
Yeah.
the exact same age, and SDK is already a proven AFL footballer.
And he's
so,
more a fullback than Ali, who would be more of an intercept.
yeah. And then there's sort of that romanticized element of getting both the De Koning brothers in. So
Yeah, completely
Yeah.
forgot about that.
again, I'd take it either way.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I think we've done the absolute necessary deals we needed to, and we've probably assessed the situation now and thought we could do this and not do anything else, or do we hold fire, back out of this one, see what happens with Rowe, and then if anything falls our way and we can do something big next week, then we'll do that.
Yeah, I'd looking back at my question before, I definitely would be expecting some news these next few days. I don't think this is like the end of the trade period for us.
You don't think? You think something
I
else
don't
is in the
think so.
works?
I've just got that feeling.
What's
I don't know.
okay, so I'm not going to say what do you hope will happen, but genuinely, realistically, what do you think might happen in the next week? And put in the comments as well, Saners, what do you think could happen next week?
I just think there's another player we're going after, whether that's to do with the Royal Marshall deal or SDK. It could be that, or it could just be someone completely separate that we haven't heard anything about. I just wouldn't be surprised if there's just one more player that we're going to go after. Maybe not, an absolute A grader, maybe a B or C grader, but would not be surprised to just see some random bloke who we did not expect to be requesting a trade to St Kilda in the next few days.
I'm trying to think of who else has kind of been linked out. I mean, we haven't mentioned him, but Bailey Humphrey from from the Gold Coast. I know some people jokingly throw that one around, but I mean,
That would be nice.
Melbourne want him as part of the Petrarca deal.
If I was Melbourne, I would be saying, give us Humphrey or the Petrarca deal is off. Just on a side note.
I think the Suns will probably offer. I mean, we gave them 7, so I think that's definitely going to be included in the deal. I just don't think they're going to let Humphrey walk based on what they've said.
Yeah.
But would you take him?
For us, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd probably just be so expensive to the point that it's almost not worth it, but I'd have a look, no doubt.
Yeah, Stuart says it feels too early to be putting the Q in the rack, otherwise they'd still be in talks.
Yeah, agreed.
the Giants.
Agreed with that.
I just wish I could, just get Bassett to come on and have a chat. Just give us a bit of the
Get
lowdown.
Gubby on.
Yeah, imagine that.
That'd be some
Marshall
interview.
gets a new contract with more money and a longer term. Really, he's got 2 years.
I don't think
More
so.
money. We just front ended the first 2 years. He would have been on big bucks in.
And he's just
Probably-
requested a trade, so
Yeah. I don't think.
yeah.
we're
That's,
gonna.
people saying Cam McKenzie in the comments. That's definitely a possibility.
I mean, Essendon will be looking for a ruck. But I don't think Marshall would probably want to go to the Bombers. No offense to the Bombers, Bombers fans that are watching, but I just feel like he would either go to a team that he thinks could win a flag in the next couple of years or stay.
Yeah.
And try.
And I got a question
win
for
it
you.
all.
Out of the 4 players that we've got, round 1 next year, who's the one you're most excited to see in the Saints jumper?
Tom De Koning.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, that's an easy one for me, to be honest. I actually quietly Liam Ryan is going to be a ripper. I just can't wait for that long ball in that usually
That
sits on
first
Higo's
screamer.
head, and he just takes the first screamer like within 20 meters. That'd be nice. I think Sam Flanders will just fit in. I just think he'll just kind of like McRae. First couple of games he has big numbers. You're like, oh shit,
No, it's a good comparison.
he's just a proper footballer. He's just there without being an absolute star, but he makes Naz and everyone else around him operate a bit better.
Yeah, and I think Silvani will almost slot straight into the role that Battle played for us.
Yeah, 100%. Who's yours? Is it Tom as well?
Yeah, by like a long way.
Oh,
That
man.
first tap, him
That first-
down to Naz.
when he just
man.
jumps and yeah, Naz swoops on it, or Flanders gets it, or Philippou, or Hall, or Windy, or Boxall.
All eyes on Max King. I would say, yeah, out of
Actually,
any
yeah,
player
out of-
next year, more than Naz, I'm excited to watch Max King play.
Out of currently listed players, I mean, like existing players that have played for us, Max King is absolutely by a mile on the top of that list.
Excited to see SDK play for us.
That's fair. That's fair. Jai Clark or George Stevens, they're young guns. But again, and I've seen comments and I agree, these players would need to want to leave. And their team just played in a grand final. Their team's used to playing in a prelim every second year pretty much. It would take a lot. We would have to do a TDK for some of these, like for Sam De Koning, we would have to offer
I
something
think
quite
that's
significant.
that's almost
for him to wanna
why
leave.
SDK has the link, because like you say, they'd have to want to leave, and he almost has like a reason already. You got your brother there. I'm sure that would be an enticing offer for him in itself.
Yep. Oh man, opening bounce. Yeah, Collingwood at the G Sunday night, I think, is what they're going to lock in. That's going to be an absolute full house. Spuds game. Cardi's in the house. Might be the first time since 2001 where we see a Saint take a mark of the year or kick a goal of the year. I mean, to be honest, that could have been this year. Naz could have had both, but
Should have. Cardi, I'll start talking to you again when you get out of the Geelong cheer squad.
Yeah, the fact that Cardi wore a Geelong top to the granny, mate.
Oh,
how could you go to?
That's a Saints TV suspension.
That's absolutely. I mean, I should ban him from the chat based on that. Michael says, seeing Wilkie play second tall down back again would have to be a close second. Had to play on the Jets all year and was still our second best player.
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine when Wilkie realizes that, I can rely on another big bloke to take the forwards and I can roam a little bit more.
Yeah. Do you think Dougal Howard starts in the team next year?
Right now, I'm going to say no. But I think if he has I think preseason, it's hard to judge until they actually get back on the track, play some games, what the synergy is with Silvani and how that works, how everyone else fits in. Yeah, we know. We love Cardi. Yeah, that's fair.
I love that the chat just turned into what we're all excited for next year.
Yeah, this was
It's going to be a
great
long
talk,
couple of months waiting for opening round or whatever it is.
It is absolutely silly season. But I'm glad that most of the speculation, like we haven't really had to speculate too much because all the deals that have been done, we knew were going to pretty much happen. We haven't really had to live too heavily in the big footy world. What if this, what if that? So now it starts. To me, now the silly season starts because we don't know what really our next move is going to be. We didn't know that we were going to back out of Aaliyah.
Yeah.
We knew Heath was going. We knew every player we were going to get were coming, apart from Aaliyah, obviously, and now things change.
The last thing, I guess, that is to be decided, we've got 4 boys still out of contract with no offers on the table yet. Ari Showmaker, Ryan Burns, Jack Carroll, Zach Jones. What are your thoughts there?
I mean, Sam Flanders wears the number 3 at the Suns.
I think Zachy Jones is unfortunately
Zachy
not
Jones-
getting a contract, so that's probably one.
Yeah.
Ari Showmaker, does he get a contract next year?
I mean, I'm just trying to think of where he fits in, but there's no disputing that he's got something. Like he's got some talent about him. He's got something to offer, but is it with us or is it with someone else? I don't know. So that's a 50-50 for me. Burnsy, for some reason, I just think Burns sticks around. I don't know.
Yeah, I just think Ross likes him too much.
Yeah, I think he'll just get
if there's a spot for him, they give it to him.
I think he'll just get a 1-year deal, just constantly, and for the rest of his career, pretty much, just to keep him on his toes. But
like Stocker.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
What about Carroll?
I mean, sometimes you need the list spots, right? So it could be really unlucky, but we didn't see much of him this year. We saw him in the Melbourne game, The first Melbourne game, he came on as a
Yeah.
sub when Filippo went off, I think.
It was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it was me,
Oh, is he contracted, Carroll?
no.
You sure? Al
Pretty
seems to
certain.
think he is. Can you? Yeah. I thought he was.
I can double check it.
Wasn't, but I mean, that's not really the biggest concern for me right now. I mean, I don't live. Yeah, I'm not sleeping on whether we keep. Yeah, I rate that. Some players love that pressure. Obviously, when we extended Paddy Dow, which was good, so we can't forget about him being part of the mix. Like just with his trigger. Yeah, he's got 1 year left. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, no. I stand corrected. Just saw that on Footy Wire. So it's just the three of them then.
Yep. So, yeah, maybe two of them go.
I guess they'll probably have to wait until after the draft.
Yep.
Sam Walsh, yeah, that name's floated around.
Yeah, but he's not going anywhere. Not with the off season that Carlton are having. There's no chance. Yeah. Nice left foot. That's fine.
Chris says,
We
so
do-
why is Leak not a wanted player anymore? Exactly right. It's like, just because we don't want him, it's like, does no one else want him? Like, that says more about him than it does about us if we're the only club that wants him, which isn't true.
Yep.
There are other clubs out there. So he's going to be fine. He won't make as much as we were offering, but yeah, sorry, mate. Bad luck. It's definitely bad luck and doesn't happen every day, but it is what it is. We had to make the
think-
call.
Yeah, yeah. And I guess there's nothing in the rule book that says once a player nominates, you have to absolutely get it done. Most people say it does get done, but I mean,
It's like an
not-
unwritten rule.
Yeah, yeah. But things change.
Yeah.
Things change. So, and you've got to be able to shift when things do change around you.
A lot of people.
Jimmy?
You go.
Who covers Jimmy Webster next year? I mean,
I think Stocker.
Stocker. Yeah, Stocker's going to play. I mean, he's not going to be in his position, but I'm really keen to see how Hasty goes next season. I think he'll be in for a big season. And yeah, I mean, some people had their question marks on Leak, but
Yeah, what
I
do you
kinda
say to the
thought-
people saying that we've dodged a bullet?
well, I don't know, because he's early days in his career still. He hasn't had a clean run at it. Yeah, you kind of have to decide after a player plays a full season and then see, but he hasn't had that opportunity. But yeah, he hasn't proven himself yet, no doubt. So another reason why maybe we didn't want to go with the offer that the Giants wanted. He hadn't proved himself yet, you know? So
Watch
just
him
the
be
way
an
it is.
All-Australian next year.
yeah, I mean, but that's hindsight. Like, you know, it's like Tristan Cherry when North wanted a certain pick and we didn't come to the party, and then he turns into one of the best rucks in the comp. You know,
Yeah.
when we wanted him years back. But that is the news, Saners. That is nearly an hour there. Appreciate you tuning in last minute on that. Obviously, we can't forget we did land Sam Flanders yesterday as well. Traded away pick 7 for him, straight swap, which is a great deal. I think he's going to be very, very good for us. Yeah, we don't need to worry about Josh Jenkins. He's not a fan of us, I don't think.
Even on Trade Radio, he was going on and about how we need to stop the whinging, stop the sooking about the draft. Like, mate, you played for Geelong, you played for Adelaide. Like, he doesn't know what the small market Victorian teams who don't have this pool are having to deal with.
Yeah.
O'Connell, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, O'Connell, as tough as they come, really. So it's great to have him and Stocker as well. Will do anything for the footy club. Rivers, yeah, he's off to Melbourne, isn't he? He's off to his old club today. So I'm not sure who else would be out there unless we've got someone internal that could do it. I mean, Enright, he won't do it because he's got bigger fish to fry, but I'll have to see. I think that might be it, Saners. Yeah, Armstrong as well. there's so many, I guess, proven factors as to why we can be excited about next season, but also a lot of unproven. You know, a lot of question marks. But if it comes off, it could be quite a big year for the Sainers. But obviously, this was a live trade talk. So just to round it out, we're out of the Lee Galea deal today. That would be very nice, but that's beyond silly season.
Yeah.
Like that's genuinely, yeah, you need to, I don't know, go out, get some fresh air, touch some grass outside on the street or something. Wouldn't that be nice though?
That would be pretty nice.
Yeah. We'll do more lives as we can when there is big news, obviously, and maybe we'll do depending on next Wednesday night, it is the deadline day. So if we're available and things are happening, which there absolutely is a chance that St Kilda could do make some moves next week with what we can still do with the picks that we've got and obviously Marshall and Steele up in the air. We might do a live on the deadline day as well. Hopefully we'll have some big news then to talk about. But thank you for your time, Ari. Thanks for jumping on, mate, and chatting for an hour with me about all the big news. I appreciate it.
No, absolutely. And last thing we didn't mention, but Wilkie confirmed that he's added a few more years to his contract.
Correct.
So that's only good news. So there you go.
So that takes him to confirm 2029.
He said a couple years, but there might be an announcement that comes when they say that he's captain, and we'll know for sure then.
He's a Sainer for life, essentially. He's a Sainer for life, which is what we love. So that's a great bit of news to end on. A busy day. Every day seems to be busy at Moorabbin. I don't think I've had an off season this hectic in a while. Doing one video and then by the end of doing another video, I have to do another one because news breaks. It's nuts. But on that note, thank you very much, Sainers, for tuning in. Appreciate you spending the last hour with myself and Ari. There's plenty of videos. I've done a video on Ryan today. I've done a video on Lecalier as well, and obviously the live, and then yesterday Sam Flanders. So if there's plenty of content out there for you to check out. We've obviously got the new St Kilda Mafia merch. Not the merch that Ari's wearing, but nonetheless very cool merch. Check that out when you can. So thanks again, Sainers. I'll see you in the next live. Until then, take care, and as always, go you mighty Sainers. See you guys.